Now going to question 17. This is a question about the exponential equation. So let's review that real quick. In an exponential equation, A is your starting amount, B is the way it changes, and X is the number of times that all happens. And the two ways that you'll see that sort of varied on the SAT is instead of having X, you'll have X over 3, which means it's every 3. So let's just say we're talking X is the number of years, then X over 3 would be every 3 years. So the idea is that the exponent would equal 1 every time X changes by 3. So it's changing by 3 to trigger a new exponential change. On the other hand, if you had something like 3x here, if x is the number of years, this is like saying our change is happening 3 times per year. Or it's happening, actually, if you can think about this, it's triggering the exponential change to happen every 1/3 of x. Because just imagine 3 times 1/3 would be 1. So all I really need is for x to change by 1/3, and it's going to trigger the exponential change. But in 1 year, if x equals 1, it's going to trigger it 3 times. So let's go ahead and apply that idea in this question. Here we have a starting amount. It's changing by some percent. We'll talk about that in a second. But x over 12, well, if x is the number of months, then that means it's happening every 12 months. So we have a change that's happening every 12 months. And let's talk about what kind of change now. And to do that, we're talking about increasing or decreasing something by a percent. So let's just say a number starts at 100% and it goes down by 25 or up by 25% from there. Then that would take it to either 75% if it went down 25% or 125% if it went up 25%. In decimal form, this would be 0.75, this would be 1.25. So what I'm saying is that to increase a number by 25%, I have to multiply it by 0.25. Or to decrease it by 25%, I have to multiply it by 0.75. So in our question, this right here is a reference to the idea that we are lowering it by actually 36%, because let's imagine starting at 100, going plus 36% from there, or minus 36%. That would take it up to 136% or down to 64%. And in decimal form, 1.36 or 0.64. So this 0.64, there's a lot of story behind that. That's the idea that this thing has gone down by 36%. So it's starting at 5,470. It's going down 36% every 12 months. So now what's their question? The value of the equipment is decreasing each year by what percent? Well, 12 months is 1 year. So it's decreasing every year, every 12 months by 36%. And that's why our answer here is C.